Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Around the Ballpark podcast live for your Thursday night, March 26th, or I'd like to call opening day 2026. I know there was a game last night, but now we got a full slate of games today. So maybe you took off work today, maybe you did not. Hopefully you got to catch at least one game. I know I did. But thanks for joining us and making a part of your each and every week, alongside, of course, Darren, as always. And Sean is back with us on the show. It's been a little while, so
been a minute, guys. Good to see you.
And just see how things are good going with you. Yeah, great to see you. But before we do anything else, as always, Darren, we have to give a shout out to our pride sponsors over at Nashville Tax Solutions.
Yeah, I say this with no foreboding tone, but every week we see you, it's a week closer to the big tax day, April 15th. And, if you're dealing with tax issues, maybe you got behind on your filings, maybe you got hit with a lien, maybe you're being garnished. Let me tell you about Nashville Tax Solutions. These folks, Chris Ben and his crew, they know their stuff and they actually care about helping you fix it. You're not just a spreadsheet. I've been hearing from a lot of people who've gone to Chris Bennett and Nashville Tax Solutions. And, the one thing they say is that Chris and his team turn a financial nightmare into peace of mind. So if tax stress is keeping you up, that's not healthy and it's avoidable. How's it avoidable? Call Chris Bennett and his team at Nashville Tax Solutions, 855-627-4829. Visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or, email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com. Do it today. Nashville Tax Solutions, real people who get you real results.
Thank you, Darren, and we are excited. We are on the road to 4,100 subscribers, and the goal here is by the end of summer to hit that 5,000 mark, shooting kind of high, but I believe we hit 4,000. We can get to 4,100 and then trickle from there. I know I've been sharing it with whoever and anyone I possibly can. But those of you that have been watching recently know it was kind of the off season, so we did a lot of rankings. We did a top 10 sitcoms from the 70s all the way to the 2000s. We did a lot of that 70s. Fun stuff.
You guys aren't
the
that
70s,
old, are you?
Yes. So we had the resident there. So I have to ask, so Sean, once again, before we dive into that, of course, for those that might have not seen your prior episodes, if you wouldn't mind just one more time sharing who you are, what you do, that sort of thing. And then I'm going to ask you a couple quick questions based on some of those recent podcasts, your thoughts on some of those sitcoms. But go ahead, introduce yourself.
My name is Sean Schofield. Spent quite a bit of time in professional baseball as an umpire. I'm down here now in Fort Pierce. I met Mike when I was front office manager at the Crown Plaza, and his lovely wife, and got to know him pretty well. Who was it that actually connected us, Mike?
So that was Bill and Regina.
That's Regina. Right. Oh, I see them every now and then on Facebook. They're doing a lot of cruising. Great people.
Yes, I think they're up to like 81 or something.
Isn't that crazy?
It's just stay on the cruise. Just don't come back.
Absolutely. But I'm back down here now in Fort Pierce with my wife. I live down here in Fort Pierce. I traveled up to Melbourne, and I'm working down in Fort Pierce right now. About 5 minutes from my house, So it's a lot easier.
Much easier commute. And speaking of Fort Pierce, because Nashville Tax Solutions, their main office now in Fort Pierce, so they are doing some great things. Christopher Bennett was able to go to the World Baseball Classic recently. And of course, sends me the text message with a picture of him with Ken Griffey Jr. and all the fun shenanigans and stuff. So he's all over the place. So we love following him. But thank you, Chris.
How about Ken Griffey's the one taking the pictures now?
That's right.
Caitlin Clark, too. She takes pictures now as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That is crazy. So I want to ask you. I wanted to ask you, Sean. So we mentioned we did some recent episodes on some sitcoms, 70s, 80s, 90s. So hit us with your what show comes to mind first and foremost for 70s, 80s, and then 90s. We'll stop there, but put you on the spot.
Oh, 70s probably by far was Three's Company.
That was my number one. That's interesting.
The subject matter. Yeah, but no question. That was we actually had for my wife's birthday. We had a Mrs. Roper pub crawl. If I had pictures available, I would share them. It was insane. We a whole group from West Palm, a whole bunch of older ladies from West Palm came up, and it was nuts. I mean, it was crazy. But I always watched that. I enjoyed that one. 80s. Probably gonna miss one. I like Growing Pain. Cheers. What am I thinking? Cheers. By far.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I recall. My favorite episode is the 2-part episode where Woody gets married. Do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm. Of course. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just by far the funniest. 90s. Let's see. I'm more of sitcoms in the 90s. What did you guys say? I'm not a big Seinfeld guy. I'm not a big, strangely enough, Office fan. I spent more time on The Sopranos than I did in sitcoms, I guess.
Yeah. I think for
choices?
90s, we put Seinfeld and Friends were at the top. I think the top two
that's
for us in the 90s
Friends,
realm, I think. But because I think King of Queens was up there, but then more of the episodes were in the early 2000s than the 90s, so we bumped that out after the fact. But
so let me ask Sean this. Sean, this is we had some pushback, more questions.
Okay.
The Wonder Years, is that a sitcom?
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
See?
We are actually so maybe I don't want to say like a dark sitcom, but more of like a dramatic sitcom. Is that a term? If not, can we make it?
I would get very comfortable with that.
Because there were a lot of Fred Savage and her name
Winnie Cooper.
Winnie Cooper, right? So I can't. There were a lot of, and they dealt with a lot of issues on that show, I recall. So but then there was also a lot of funny stuff too. So I would go dramatic comedy. Let's invent a term.
It's funny you mention that. There's nothing funny about the subject matter, right? The first episode, Winnie Cooper's brother dies in Vietnam. And the last episode, we find out that his father dies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
We watched that every night too. Every week back then.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
I do remember them. Did the last episode have them like on a pile of hay and they were holding hands and something like that?
Yes.
At the very end.
At the end? And then they ended up at a parade, and that's when you find out what happened to everybody.
Yes.
Yep.
It's been
and some of the cast on that hasn't aged a bit. It seems like it's been 30-something years and almost look the same. It's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
But so
actually, strangely enough, Winnie Cooper, I can't remember her name offhand, but she spent some time on my favorite show, West Wing. She was.
She was on. Yes,
she was there.
Yep.
Yep. So
she was.
I just have to drop that in there.
Yes, of course. So alongside the top 10, I'm just a shout out plug for this coming Sunday. Our next episode, we're going to be diving into the top 10 baseball movies of all time. So that'll be a lot of fun. I already have my favorites. And so we'll make sure we do that. So drop those in the comments when you're watching this video, either later today, tomorrow. Let us know your top 10, but we'll save that for Sunday, but just wanted to give a plug for that. But before we dive into opening day, which was today, Darren, I have to ask you this quick question. So I went to the movies today and we saw the movie They Will Kill You. Okay. Mm-hmm. So this is the second movie in the horror comedy realm that I've dipped my toes in the water here for. Mm-hmm. And so you have to suspend disbelief. And obviously, if you're criticizing the movie because it doesn't make sense, I mean, there's pigmen and there's so many different things. It's crazy. So before I give you the one thing I can say, I think you'd agree is that now I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Zazie Beetz. It doesn't sound like an actor name, but Zazie Beetz. Okay, she was phenomenal in the movie.
Unbelievable.
So before anything negative can be said, we have to get that out.
We can't hear you.
What was that?
No, now I can. I'm sorry. I
can
hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, but of course, the first 7 to 10 minutes, I tell Mom it's the kind of movie it is, but then you don't know it's a horror comedy until about 10 minutes in when there's always that moment where just everything just changes and you're like, what is happening here? Like, what in the world is going on? And she's watching, of course, here. So I don't know how people that rate movies do it professionally. Like, I wouldn't know where to begin to rate a movie like that other than, I mean, it was a good time. Like, we had a good time. Like, really, this is happening, So I don't know. It's probably not for me, but it was better than the other one we just saw 2 weeks ago, whatever that was called. Yeah. So now you had mentioned in the recap, like some paid homage to some older films and stuff. So that's why you appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah. So I ran the gamut. At first, I was like, "What's going on?" And this is terrible. Like really bad. And like, and I was like, well, what's the name? Beach. She was incredible. And you're like, "Oh, this is a comedy." And then you start to listen. Like, for example, Sean might know this, right? So something happens in the middle of a hallway in a hotel. I'm not giving anything away, right?
And they don't want to know some of the stuff that happens in a hallway in a hotel.
Right. all of a sudden, she thinks, she killed somebody, and the person says, it's a mere flesh wound. You know what that's from? What movie that's from?
Sure. Monty Python. Holy
That's
Grail.
right. So I heard that. And I go,
that's actually my favorite part. Yep. Yeah. Your arm's off. And he's coming out of his arm. And he goes, just put the flesh. Yeah, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
So they use that. And then, so like right there, I go, okay, I know what I'm watching now. And
wait, they use that particular line? Did people understand? Did people get it?
Some did and some didn't. Some did and some didn't. Some would laugh, like myself, were laughing hysterically, and then some would not.
That's my favorite part of that movie too. And he's jumping around.
Well, you know what I also liked in that movie? So like they have to kill the bit. Mike, you ever see this movie?
Which one?
Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Oh yeah.
I love the scene where it's a little rabbit. And takes the guy said, "Who got big teeth like this? Run away! Run away! Run away!"
We always, just run around high school in the hallways yelling "run away." But I went to Catholic school too, so there's lots of reasons.
So perfect.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think we all did here.
So we're in good company.
So, and then in the movie, you had it was what it was like for me. It was like a bad Quentin Tarantino. It was like a Quentin Tarantino movie, like I don't know, Kill Bill. Had a baby with American Horror Story the year that they were in the hotel. And who had a baby with, just something. It was like that kind of thing, and it was just funny, and it was just goofy. And to Mike's point, all believability has to go out the window.
What was it called again?
They will kill you.
They will kill you.
Yeah.
My wife is a huge Ryan Murphy fan, so that's going to have to be on our list.
There would be without giving too much away. There'd be scenes where like these characters they would be decapitated and different things like that, but then their body parts would grow back, and then you have this random eyeball that was turned around.
Right, yes, yeah. So. What is her name? She's pretty, Heather, the blonde who was in the movie. I can't remember her name. Heather Graham. So
Heather Graham is in it?
Yeah. So she gets decapitated, right?
Of Swingers fame?
Killed in this and that, right? But her eyeball still follows them around.
Yes.
Sounds like you sneak in a couple of drinks and just do what you got to do, I guess.
But
exactly.
What was funny, Darren, is because it was spring break, so it was a little bit more busy than it usually would be on a Thursday. But there were actually about 15 people in the theater, but the average age was probably 75 years old. I was really confused. Like it was not.
Well, it's that special they give everybody.
Yeah,
the AARP deal, right?
Right. So,
absolutely.
But there's some big ones coming out this weekend. But the big next one for me, I know you saw it, so I saw it. I'm hoping to see it Saturday. Is the one with Ryan Gosling, the new Project Hail Mary. So I'll keep you posted when I see that one. We'll talk about that after the fact. But so we are here, of course, just to chit chat a little bit here about opening day. And so, Sean, I wanted to kind of go to you first, and starting with the game last night, of course, the New York Yankees and the San Francisco Giants. Pomp and circumstance, to say the least, on Netflix. They threw WWE people at you. They threw comedians at you. But there's nothing better than seeing the full lineup introduction running out the field. Cool. That's old school.
Yes.
So just your thoughts first on the presentation, not the game, just the actual presentation. Was it over the top? Did you enjoy that kind of thing?
I didn't think it was
second part.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna, and then I wanted to get your thoughts on the commentating and the panel before and after the show. What you thought about them? So.
It was a heck of a panel. I mean, if you look at the pregame show with Barry Bonds and Pujols and who was else up there from Chicago? Killed.
Yeah, his name's like right there, but yeah, he was there.
But I thought that was great. I thought I was a little confused by Jameis Winston. Is that?
Yeah.
Where did he come from? Where it just kind of dropped in the middle of nowhere?
Too random.
He completely random. Then he came in making picks about who's going to hit the first home run and everything. Anthony Rizzo, by the way. Right. I thought pre-games are pre-games, right? They get you set they get you excited for the game. They get you, they get you in the mood to watch a little baseball. I thought they did a good job of presenting, what's going to happen, the facts, the Giants and the Yankees, and then once they got to the game, of course the lineups are great. I didn't think it was very over the top. I did not watch the end of the game, the end of the part where they had this hot dog stand. I did think it was cool that they came out from the trolley in San Francisco and the cabs. That I thought was kind of cool. That's different. You don't see that ever. Bert Kreischer was a little nuts. I'm not sure if he made it on McCovey Cove alive because that's he was in the middle of McCovey Cove. I mean, they're doing their best to try and draw people who wouldn't normally watch the game, right? And I mean, I'm not sure what they spent on it. I think like $60 million for the rights to be to have those games. They've got several games I think lined up for the season. I mean, I'm a big CC Sabathia guy. I love CC Sabathia.
I thought he did a great job.
He was great.
Hunter Pence did
always bringing people in too.
That's who it was. Hunter Pence. Yeah.
Hunter Pence. That's it. With the pink. With the pink little boutonniere, that was kind of cool.
He's a character. Listen. I lived out in California 16 years. They love him, and Met fans love him as well.
Yeah, you can't beat him. He's a guy's guy. He's a baseball guy, and doesn't take himself too seriously at all.
That's the key.
So and that's great. And then, they brought in Barry Bonds telling the story about hanging up on George Steinbrenner. I mean,
that was that
might have been a little bit over the top, but he's trying to salvage his his reputation is besmirched.
He's trying to be Alex Rodriguez 2.0.
Yeah, right. I know. Alex Rodriguez started off pretty poorly, but he's actually come around a little bit. And I didn't think Jeter was going to be as good as he is. Jeter's fantastic.
You know what? They're pros. Seriously, they take it serious, and even I'm going to change sports for a second. Even Tom Brady at first was not very good, and by the end of the season, he got a lot better.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Yes,
for sure.
Again, all that money.
I also want to ask you. Yeah, I agree. But, I know Darren's take. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say real quick. I enjoyed watching. We'll get into my take later. You answer your question rather, but boy, it was nice to watch two iconic uniforms. Those were nice uniforms.
Yes. And then you've got the juxtaposition between it's on a streaming service of Netflix, and then you've got old school Giants and Yankees. So that was kind of cool.
I thought that was great.
Yeah. I think the success will be determined if they could do that with, for example, I'll just throw one example out there. Give me Tigers, Royals, showcase Scooble somehow if you or as an example, if it has to be batters, let's say, give me Reds, Royals, show Ellie De La Cruz and show Bobby Witt Jr. on the main stage. People know who the Yankees are. People know who the Red Sox are. For opening day, it was great. But if they are going to have a few other games throughout the year, it does not have to be Yankees, Red Sox, or Dodgers, Mets, or whatever.
Agreed.
Show these teams that have the young studs that, what we saw from Bobby Witt in the World Baseball Classic, his defense, and just, that's what we got to see more of on the big stage, so that more and more teams, I think it's healthy for the sport if more teams are represented than just the normal 6 or 7 that we always get all the time. So, but I wanted to get your thoughts on, because I know Darren's thoughts. He's not a big fan. I am fine with it in spring training, but I want to ask your thoughts on them going to the second baseman for the Yankees there during the actual game of a regular season game, Chisholm, interacting with him live during a regular season game and not just a spring training game. So I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, they do it on ESPN on Sunday nights, or they did at least do it on ESPN on Sunday nights. I guess if the guys aren't complaining, then we shouldn't be complaining. It kind of gives you an insight that a lot of people don't get a chance to see or hear. That kind of Chisholm last night kind of lasted a little longer than it should have, just probably because the inning got extended. But you never know, right? They started asking questions about what your favorite ballpark is. Ask questions like, what are you thinking about, right now? It's a 1-2 count. So and so is up. What's the count going to? Are we looking to pull a pitch? Where is the infield set up, and what is it set up for? Guys on first and second, what's your responsibility? Things of that nature. What's your freaking favorite stadium? And he said Atlanta.
As he's trying to catch a ball.
Yeah, I mean, come on. And I don't think it's funny because you hardly ever see them get a ball hit to them when they're on the mic. Have you guys noticed that? No, I haven't seen many where it kind of catches them, because usually if you're we always said if you're filling out your Christmas card list in your head, that baseball is going to come right at you and you're screwed if you don't pay attention.
100%.
Yeah, but I don't think
I've seen it in the spring training where it's been like that, but it was spring training. But there was a particular shortstop that every time the announcer was trying to speak to him, the shortstop's like, "Hold on, sir," or "Hold on, guy, it's 2 down, it's 2 down." He said the shortstop, I forget who it was prioritizing calling the plays in the defense over responding back to the guy on whatever channel it was.
So he's doing his job.
Doing his job. Yeah. Yeah. Now, of course, your experience as an umpire with the ABS, we got to at least mention that. Your thoughts on that? Obviously, Darren, you mentioned, Darren, that they missed the first one, so they were talking about something else at the time. Was that it?
Yes. Or? So Lawrence Girardi was interviewing somebody, and they didn't break away from it. That's 100%. On the producer and director of the broadcast. Mm-hmm. How you don't go to that is important. I mean, that's the first time ever it was used in a game accounting. And it's just, now I got Lawrence Girardi asking, "What do you think of the stadium opening night?" Who cares? Just same questions. And just stop. Like the stay, in between innings, pitching change, do all the goofy stuff. I think that's wonderful and lovely. Mm-hmm. But when you're playing the game, respect the game. That's all I'm saying.
And what's funny too? He's a first-year major league manager, straight out of college. Yes. Ask questions. I mean, what do you? I mean, I don't get it. The depth of which they're smart, knowledgeable baseball people. Utilize that. Get in there and pick his brain. What's your favorite stadium? Come on.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, thank you for talking about that. That's so spot on. He is the former very successful from Tennessee. Great program, but it's a big difference. How do you earn the respect? What was it like? What was the first thing you did? These are, if you're gonna interview him, ask real questions. Mm-hmm. Don't ask.
What's your favorite ballpark food?
Yeah, your favorite ballpark food? Nonsense.
Yeah, that wasn't. I did look up and I saw Bill Miller up there, and so I'm thinking, what's going through his mind? Like, did I get it right? It's the very first time it's happened in the championship season, right? So did I get it right? And then his, he must have been just ecstatic to go, "Yep, got it right by half an inch or something like that."
Yep.
Yeah.
So the Met game was the first one that was overturned. Yeah. During the Met game, they overturned
the Met one, but not the Yankee game was right. Because there is strategy. Like some teams are saying, do you just wait till the 5th inning to try to start using it? Because you only get 2, but theoretically you can get 25 if all of them keep getting overturned. So I think earlier in the season, I don't think it matters how early in the game you use it, but I think as the season goes on, you'll start seeing the teams purposely, kind of like an NBA timeout or an NFL timeout.
Sure. Trying to figure it out too, like maybe only on a 2-count strike, or or 2 strike count. If maybe depending on that high leverage situations, right? Or save them more towards the 7th inning, because I was watching the Red Sox game today, and he challenged a call that was overturned. They called it a strike. He rung up on the 3rd strike. It was a ball. He walks. They had a rally. They scored 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning. So that's something that changed the entire aspect of the game, the entire the entire course of the game. So
100%.
You couldn't ask for anything better for the ABS system, or just to celebrate it. Right. If you're a Red Sox fan, or if you're just a baseball fan, or just a fan of the rule, that changed the game. It really did.
But getting it right.
Yep. And so, but the dominating performance by Max yesterday for the Yankees in his first start. And the Giants will be perfectly fine. They've got a great lineup. They really do. Top half of that lineup is pretty loaded. And they face the ace of the staff. And Webb pitched really well in the World Baseball Classic. He'll bounce back. But overall, I thought it was a great production. I wanted to next kind of go into starting with some of today's games. But I wanted to hit on the Mets and the Pirates next from today. That was the early start, the 150. We actually have a photo, Darren, from within the Pittsburgh Pirates dugout. This was taken with Paul Skeens earlier today. He had a rough. What's with the World Baseball Classic starting pitcher?
Paddington Bear?
Yeah, that's Paddington Bear. He plays for the Pirates.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked at all. What's the league minimum? He's probably making it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But not making out of the first inning. That was absolutely – and I
Two-thirds
get
of
it.
an inning.
2/3 of an inning. And I get it. He was at 37 pitches. So some people be like, well, wait a minute. He's still better than the bullpen. But you don't want to be throwing over 40 pitches in the first inning. So that's why people not sure.
They had Webb threw what? 7 innings last night? 6 innings?
I could not believe they took him out that late. I was shocked. And again, I kind of attributed that to him being a rookie manager coming from college. Maybe in college you'd leave him in there until the sixth inning.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Sixth, right?
Yeah,
that was
I was shocked.
And
his game was already out of hand
a little bit, didn't he?
What was that?
He was a little gassed, wasn't he?
He was very gassed
a little bit.
But you know what? He was a pro. Like he
was absolutely a pro. You didn't see any facial expressions. You didn't see any body language that indicate that he's upset or mad or angry. He just went out there and did his job, and that's why he gets paid the big bucks. That's why he's the ace.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
I was shocked, but a lot of crazy things happened that first inning. The Mets exploded so the Mets or the Pirates score 2 in the top of the first, and then the Mets explode for 5 runs, partially because a shout out to their boy, the center fielder, O'Neal Cruz on the Pittsburgh Pirates, forgot how to play center field for 2 consecutive plays. The 3-run triple by Brett Beatty, and then you have the
ball
other.
Find you. Ball find you.
That's what you said.
Ball find you. But what's interesting to me, once they got to Bo Bichette, it was from the 3-hole. I guess it just didn't click with me. From the 3-hole to the 8-hole, pretty much every spot except for one, it was like making their regular season debut for the Mets, and it's like, oh yeah, they have a lot of new players in here. But really awesome to see Carson Bench in his first major league game get a home run. That's awesome. And for the most part, they got some infield hits. It seemed like the Pirates were hitting the ball very well, but the Mets were just getting all the breaks in this game. Still an 11-7 final, so not a great day. That's not the score that you would think you would see from Peralta versus Paul Skeens, but his opening day, and so you have that. But shout out to Brandon Lau. I mean, the Pirates, I think they're still for real this year. They added a lot of offense.
They are.
They have a 3-4-5. Or a 2-3-5. 2 through 5 that very good. And O'Neal Cruz can get on. He's got a low average, but he's got some potential as well. So, but yeah. Any thoughts?
He's an infield by nature too, right? He only started playing center field last year. So he's probably figuring stuff out. O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah. But Darren, thoughts on the obviously the other.
He took a lot of heat on X today, and being anytime you go to a day game, and I was privileged enough to watch many games from Oracle Park and from Citi Field and Shea Stadium. Those are not as bad as Oakland used to be, but there's some bad sun fields. There's some bad sun. That's what I'm saying. So if you're not a trained center fielder, trained outfield, you're going to look real bad. When the sun is like that. And it bit them. And if you think about that, and again, not being anti the big win, I love that they won, but you were gifted 5 runs. You were gifted you were gifted 5 runs and won by 4.
let me ask you, what do you think that's going to do to Skeens? Is he going to come back and battle back and go back to the form of last year as Cy Young, or what is he going to do? Is he going to? I mean, is it an outlier?
Well, look,
I never expected that.
I think it's an outlier, but I think they're going to trade him by the trade deadline anyway.
But they've got a competitive team this year.
Well, if the team is not doing
a competitive team, they don't pay anybody.
Well, yeah, they're going to lose him anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really important for them this year to be competitive by the trade deadline because yes, they could lose him, but they have a very solid team. So it'll be interesting to see because they do have some other young studs in the pitching rotation that hopefully can. But I think it'll be an anomaly. But it's something he hasn't. I mean, never. He's never going to have a game like that ever again. Most people's minds. So I think we fully expect the second start to be dominating. Now, one thing though is interesting. Just a sidebar. This is the 9th consecutive year that the Pittsburgh Pirates have had to start their season on the road. I feel like the schedule makers can cut them a little slack. Now, partially could be because the weather is not great in Pittsburgh, maybe. But 9 years in a row to get to start the season at home. But I only know that
fan base. Yeah, the fan base in Pittsburgh, I know, is not very happy. And if they do,
they're not.
To Darren's point, if they do end up trading Skeens, or I think you're gonna see them go the way of the Oakland A's. Like I think you're going to see them Major League Baseball having to step in and kind of take. And of course, that didn't happen with the A's. But if it gets to the point where they can't put rear ends in the seats, I mean, they have a good. And have you guys ever been to PNC Park?
But it looks gorgeous.
It's beautiful ballpark. Yeah, and I don't. I mean, so they're going to get the diehards. But if you have a competitive team. And there's smart baseball people in Pittsburgh. And you're not putting your competitive team on the field and you're making moves like getting rid of Skeens to cut payroll and not put the best team not compete for a championship. Let's put it that way. They're going to get up and leave. They're not going to show up anymore. And they've been dealing with this for a long time. I didn't know that 9 years they started the season on the road. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen anymore. Now, moving on to another game today, we had the Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Rays. And so the Tampa Bay Rays had 7 runs and 17 hits. But in the 6th inning, the starter came out and the bullpen imploded. There was an individual that I'm not going to even say his name because he didn't record a single out, but he pitched to 7 batters, gave up 5 runs, 5 hits, and he was gone, and then Clevenger messed things up after him, and then they still blew a save after that.
Plus in the box score. That hurts.
I love to see a 54 ERA after one relief outing. That's phenomenal. But the Cardinals took it 9-7 over the Rays, and the Rays played excellent. They scored a ton of runs, and their starting pitching was great. Rasmussen was great. So that's a tough loss on the road.
It is a tough loss, absolutely.
To have your bullpen implode by that, because that's been one of the strengths of the Rays has been the bullpen. So, high scoring affair there.
Rays are always put together. They just have great organizational skills, and then having to play their season last year in Steinbrenner Park. I mean, that's the spring training facility, right? I mean, the pitchers must be nuts. I wouldn't want to pitch. It's great. I mean, Oakland came in. Isn't that where Nick Kurtz hit his 3 home runs? Was it 3 or 4 home runs?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
and what that guy is going to do with a full season. For those that don't know, his stats, I think he had 32 home runs and 86 RBIs, but he only played 4 months, and won Rookie of the Year. It's insane to think what he's going to do this year.
He took the Rookie of the Year away from his boy Wilson at shortstop.
Yeah,
he had it wrapped up. He really did. He had it wrapped up. I hope he's buying dinner.
Yes, he snatched that bad boy up. But Darren, I'll go to you next. So another game I'd like to discuss today. Unfortunately, the same old White Sox. They got destroyed 14-2 today. But their new offensive star, the Japanese guy, he hit a big blast. So that's a plus. But the Brewers did have their ace. So sometimes you look at this and you remember that it's opening day. Don't panic. But you were facing other teams' ace. But 14-2, Mizorowski struck out 11 batters over 5 innings. But dominating performance from the Brewers. The White Sox, it seems like that's not how you want to get the season started off. But What do you think? What do you think of the Brewers this year in terms of their longevity and how they're going to compete in that division and whatnot? Because with the White Sox, we're probably thinking 4th or 5th place. That's all they are. But are the Brewers the team to beat in that NL Central? You think?
They were last year. They were the year before. I mean, they are a competitive playoff team, and they hit very well in their pitching. I mean, the average on defense, not bad, not great. But they have a deep lineup, and they can put hits together. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll a playoff team. I do think that the White Sox will be a lot better than they were in the past. And the one game out of first. I mean, literally, it's they were on the road against a very good pitcher, and opening day, everybody was jacked up. You fall behind quick, and it's done. They're done, unfortunately.
It's done, yeah. Unfortunately, the Brewers did lose Jackson Churio to a hand injury, so we'll see where that is.
Well, that's my point. I mean, only 161 games to go. Yeah. Who pulls a hamstring, right? Who turns out gets a high ankle sprain? You just don't know. I think the Brewers will be in the playoffs.
I think a lot of
hunt.
The Brewers' success has to do with Pat Murphy. Mm-hmm. That's a consummate baseball guy. He's been in baseball probably longer than I've been alive. And he just loves and he knows the game, and you can tell how much he enjoys being around the guys and being in the game. And he is a mind that if you could sit down and have a conversation with him about baseball, it would blow your mind. He doesn't talk anything else. I can't imagine how his family sits at Christmas dinner and started talking about what rotation is going to be come March or February. Pitchers and catchers report, right? So, but that's what he lives and dies for. And I'm sure. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure he loves his family. I don't want to say that or anything. But that trickles down from top. And I actually like the Cubs in the Central, to be honest with you. But I think that's going to hinge a lot on what Craig Counsell can do this year. Because last year he looked like a little kid in that dugout. I'm not sure if you guys got a chance to watch a lot of Cubs games.
I do. I watch a lot. I happen to like the Cubs. I like the older traditional teams.
So. Oh yeah. Yep. I've never been to Wrigley, so I'm yet to. We've got my wife and I have friends in Chicago that we have not gotten to Wrigley yet to see, but hopefully this year we'll get out there.
I was fortunate enough to see a game there, and it was great.
It's a wonderful thing.
It's great.
Old school.
That's
baseball.
awesome. And speaking of the Cubs, I was going to go there next, but they fell short today to the Washington Nationals. I believe it was 11-4. And nobody has the Nationals penciled in beyond 4th or 5th place or whatever. So it's just one.
Obviously, the Cubs didn't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
They didn't get the memo. But did you see any highlights or anything from that game? I did not watch anything from that one, but I just know that was the score, and that it seems like it's going to head in a different direction after today. But I think that's an overreaction if anybody thinks the Nationals are going to actually be a contender this year in any capacity.
They're sneaky. They're sneaky good. They've got some, C.J. Abrams and I can't remember the gentleman's first Woods. James. That's not James Woods. He's the actor. The big guy who was in the
tall guy. Yeah,
but they don't have any pitching. So
right. Yeah, exactly. So that's what they're now. You mentioned, Sean, going next to the Red Sox. So you mentioned earlier. Watched a little bit of that one. Obviously, a Yankee fan. So, but 3-0 Red Sox.
My wife, today. However, is a Red Sox fan.
Yes,
I think I mentioned that to you before.
I think there's a photo too out in the Facebook world that you shared once like that. So, but so they won 3-0. But I really, really feel when we did our preseason projection, I had them as a sleeper team, but I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the Roman Anthony, but I really feel like this
James Woods. You meant James Woods. That is
James. Was it James Woods?
Yeah, James Woods. Yep.
Okay.
For the Nationals, yeah.
Yep.
But I really feel like the Red Sox are going to be good this year, and I don't know. I really like what I saw of Roman Anthony in the World Baseball Classic, but I think that division is going to be very, very exciting this year.
That dude's 21 years old. Isn't that
just
insane. Crazy to you? It's crazy to me. I just he's a monster.
Yes.
I might have been a quarter of him when I was 21 years old. I don't he's got to stay healthy though. And I think a lot of the Red Sox, it's reminding me a lot of the Yankees back in the late 90s, right? They've got a lot of homegrown talent. I mean, look at the guys they've brought up. Duran's 3 years ago. Obviously, Robin Anthony. Garrett Crochet Day, you're going to win, right? I mean, I think they have I think they have a chance to win the East this year. I really do. And obviously, I mean,
I have them winning the East.
So do I. Yep.
Yeah. I really do. I'm not saying the Blue Jays are going to fall up, are going to be a shell of what they were, but I just think, man, I mean, Orioles are going to be better than they were. And it's a really good division. Not that it's not been, it's just this year really feels like it's going to be must see every single matchup you can think of. I agree with you. Totally. Even with the Rays, because even though they're the lesser of them, they always put up a fight with those teams. So it's going to be great.
There's no night off. There's no night off. No. At least there's no night off.
No. Well, the bullpen can take the night off if Crochet is pitching, but except for Chapman.
True.
You know. Can't believe it. How about his resurgence? Last year he was insane.
Yeah. You know, but that's good coaching. Step away, get the mind right. It's unbelievable. You know, and I'm looking forward to. I got 2 Yankee Red Sox games this year with my ticket plan, so it's that's great. That's going to be
in
great.
Fenway, or if you're the Cape,
in Fenway. In Fenway.
Yeah. Oh, I love Fenway. I do. I love Fenway. I'm sorry.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, my season. I got a partial plan. It's right behind the bullpen, the old seats, but I'm right on the aisle. Great view. You know, I got the Giants, Red Sox, Yankees, Red Sox.
Well, you got some
Orioles,
good games.
Red Sox. Yeah, I got some real good games. Tampa. I got Tampa.
Do you have any interleagues, or is it mostly AL, or is it?
The Giants, right?
Giants are in the league.
Yeah.
I got the Cubs. Cubs, Red Sox.
That's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, come on. You want? I'll give it to you real quick. Ready? I got Bruins, Red Sox.
He's gonna make us jealous now. That's what he's gonna do.
No, I'm just a moron. I got
not at all, there.
I got Bruins, Red Sox, Yankees, Red Sox, Twins, Red Sox, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees, Red Sox, Rays, Red Sox, White Sox, Red Sox. Got to throw that in there, right? Everybody got to do a little pennants. Then I got Giants, Red Sox, Angels, Red Sox, and Cubs, Red Sox. That's not a bad group.
So, not bad. But
all right, Sean and Mike, we'll jump in the car and jump up 95. We can get right off. You know,
whenever you're ready.
We could do that, Sean. Or hear me out. We could see the Clearwater Threshers take on the Jupiter Hammerheads. I mean, that's possible.
I'm okay with minor league baseball for a while. I think.
Me too.
I will say this though. I think that every time my wife and I have gone to 2 Red Sox Yankees games together, the first one we got engaged at Fenway. They beat us, and she's probably going to text me after this. 15-7, I think it was. We got beat, but we got engaged, so there was that, right?
Yeah.
The second game was in, I think it was out in Fort Myers, and it was, of course, it was a spring training game, but it was like they put up like 11 runs in the first 2 innings. I'm going, what am I doing wrong? And she doesn't really rub it in. She's good about that. She doesn't really rub it in, but it's
man, that's a lot of offense. Wow.
Oh my gosh, it was crazy.
The Clearwater. I one time.
The Clearwater Thrashers. I remember them very well.
Yeah. I remember them so vividly because it was I might have shared it. I don't know if it was with you or not, but I know I think Darren, you've heard it. Where I went to the last season that the Brevard County Manatees, and Joe, if you're still watching, let us know in the chat. But it was the Brevard County Manatees against the Clearwater Thrashers in Brevard County at Space Coast Stadium, and there were 17 errors in that game that were on the scoreboard. On the scoreboard, 17. There were more, but that was the game.
The official score was just being generous, right?
Unbelievable.
Was it like during the middle? Was it like beginning of the year, end of the year? Were they out of
beginning of the year?
Half?
Yeah, beginning of the year. But they weren't like normal errors. This was center fielder trying to throw the runner out at second, stealing, and threw it so hard that the center fielder caught the ball in the air. Like, it was ridiculous. These are 2 consecutive dropped balls at second where they were looking up and it just landed to the left of them. It didn't even hit the glove. Like, it was absolutely, we couldn't, like, I think I stopped breathing from laughing so hard. It was just, I just couldn't believe that 5 consecutive plays had errors. It was, I would pay all the money in the world to get that VHS tape. I really
Florida State League was. I mean, it was advanced A back then, and that. I mean, it was a pitchers league. So if you have to look for something to give them a reason that they were awful, that's the reason, I guess.
And that's complete opposite to the Pacific Coast League, which was just a hitters league because of
is it ever Albuquerque, New Mexico?
Yep.
Yes, I did not realize what altitude does to you. I really didn't.
You really had to look at their stats with a grain of salt because
you do.
It's like,
and it's all relative. Everybody knows that. So,
now just a quick score check: the Dodgers are losing a game. That is remarkable. They're down 2-0 in the fifth to the Diamondbacks. Good luck.
Yamamoto gave up 2, huh?
Yeah.
I got an interesting take on that game.
Okay.
It's interesting. Like if you were going to ask what game is most important for the first game of the season, this one, because it's interdivision rivals, and so every game really counts. You can't just say, okay, first game of the season. They only have 8 games against each other. Every game matters.
Yeah, so balanced schedule now.
Yep.
A great friend of mine, Kevin, who watches all the time, he had gotten away from baseball for so long, and he just started getting back into it towards the later part. And me and him would kind of get on the phone every once in a while. We'd talk about a game here. And he found himself a Dodger fan. He's like, I feel bad because I'm like cheering for the team that's doing well. I'm like, hey, it got you back into the game. You were away for so many years. Doesn't matter. That's the fact that they're the best team. That's a bonus. But like he's been buying jerseys and he's just every day. We're just so excited. I'm sure he's very upset about this score right now, this 2-0. But I mean, with that lineup, forget it.
They're definitely changing the landscape of baseball. I mean, with the deferred, I think I read somewhere that their deferred, the amount of deferred salary is somewhere near $2.1 billion. So
something like that. But let me ask, how does that work? Like if the owner is no longer the owner in 10 years when they're owed, then I guess the guy's still.
It's like paid. You're assuming another company's debt when you purchase them, right? I mean, like that's basically what it is.
Yeah, that's insane to me to think. Now the impending lockout and all that kind of stuff. It's I say this with all sincerity, like that would be the absolute worst time. I'm not saying Major League Baseball is going to get to the popularity of the NFL, but it feels like, to me at least, and I know I'm a baseball nut, but this to me feels like baseball is to that point where in popularity as it was in the Sosa McGuire, like it's there again. And I feel like this is absolutely the worst timing. And I don't see this, how they're going to avoid it, because you get guys like Kyle Tucker taking the money he's making, probably not even in the top 15 of Major League Baseball players. He's probably in the top 20, but he's not in the top 15. So it's going to be a tough sell, and it's going to be an ugly off season. And I'm dreading thinking about it, but we have this whole season to go, but couldn't come at a worse time because
I have a very radical, and it will never happen, but fix, because people are talking about a hard salary cap, and and I don't think that helps.
Here's what helps. With a salary cap, you've got to have a salary floor too.
That's where I'm going. Like, you cannot have the Pittsburgh Pirates just you're throwing the soap. Like they don't even try because they know they're making enough money from revenue sharing and whoever shows up. I think you have to make it mandatory, and I'm just going to come up with a number for the argument. Whatever the top team spends, the quote-unquote bottom team has to spend at least 55% of whatever they spend. Like that's what the ceiling is. So that way everybody can still make their money, and you just can't have any collusion. You got to look out for that.
Well, there's that too. Yes.
Yeah. So you can't have the Pirates just STB. You just do it.
I think it's not enough people say that, but it's true. It's a lot of the blame, and yes, maybe the Dodgers are a little bit over the top, but not enough blame is on the teams that don't spend money, like the Royals, and the Twins, and then it's always let's blame the Dodgers, let's blame the Mets, let's blame the Yankees. But not so much the Yankees last few years because they're not overspent. But the reality is, let's start holding some of these other teams accountable and do something here. But yeah. So and of course, I shouldn't have said anything. The Dodgers just scored 3 runs. Not sure exactly what just happened, but yeah.
MLB's on back there.
I love that.
Yeah, I think the late game, or I think also Seattle plays later tonight.
Seattle's playing Cleveland. Yeah.
Cleveland, yeah. So Cleveland is my hope would be my stadium number 7. I'm trying to do one a year. So the target is to go in May.
The Jake. Or Progressive Field now?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Progressive?
Yeah, Progressive. Just quickly, we've got just under 10 minutes left tonight. But just want to touch on the Angels 3, Astros 0. Jose Soriano pitched great for the Angels today. The Angels don't get a lot of shutout wins, so shout out to them. Scooble pitched great. Tigers 8, Padres 2. What do you think? What do you guys think about the Padres in terms of, because that division? To me, I know the Giants just lost 7-0, but I feel like there's going to be a power shift with the Padres and the Giants. Like, you still have the Dodgers here, but I feel like it's going to be Giants Padres now instead of the other way around. What do you think?
A lot of moves. The biggest pickup I think they made last year was Mason Miller. And as you know, anybody who's going to tell you, I'm a Yankee fan, so I had Mariano Rivera for so many years. But your closers, you get 8 innings, right? I mean, that 9th is taken care of, so it shortens the game for you. Fernando Tatis Jr. has to stay healthy. That's just it. Michael King has to pitch better. Who did they just? Who was their ace? I can't think of it. I didn't really think about the Padres when I was thinking about talking to you guys today.
I forget.
Dylan Cease.
Oh, yeah, Cease.
Yeah. So he's gone. So their pitching kind of, weakened out a little bit. But when you're playing when you're playing in a division with the Dodgers, it's got to be just demoralizing. And I mean, I know everyone's professionals, and I know everyone is doing their best, and they're, But looking at that team, you want to see your first 4 hitters, and Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, and
Tucker.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, what can you do?
Now, I have a legit question. Speaking of Giants, and I'm serious when I ask this question. Okay, I'm going to read you the stats here real quick. 2023, 354 batting average. 2024, 318 batting average. 2025, 292 batting average. And the guy cannot stay on the same team for more than a year.
Luis Urias.
Yes, like I'm trying to understand.
I think it's his defense. He came up with the Marlins. Remember, he went from the Marlins to the Padres to the Giants, and it's only been, maybe is it 4 years?
Yeah, because it was Twins up until 22, then Marlins in 23, Padres in.
Oh, did he come up with the Twins?
Yeah, Twins in 2019 through 2022 was Twins, and even with the Twins in 22, he had 316.
That's
before that big 354 year. Yeah, but so you think it's his defense is the?
I don't know. I'm going to have to look. Next time we meet, I'm going to have an answer for you though, because I have thought the same thing. It's his approach at the plate is just. I mean, he's a slap hitter. He's almost like an Ichiro Suzuki, but like with some pop. I mean, now Suzuki had some pop too, I guess, but he's gap to gap. He uses all fields and he knows the count. You can watch him cerebrally, like he knows what he can analyze those pitches. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. That's going to be a question I'm going to have to look into though, for sure.
Yep. So what I'd like to end, and just a quick thing, I'm going to end with a final question from me that could be anything, and Darren's going to have a could be anything question. But Phillies 5, Rangers 3 was one of the other scores today. But so here's my question, and then Darren, I'll have you end it from there. So we are X amount of years now removed from the designated hitter being allowed with National League and stuff. And I saw a tweet today from what's his name? Former Bartolo Colon. And they said, describe something in 4 words. And he said, let the pitchers hit. So we are.
Because he could rake.
Yes. He could.
Against the Padres.
Yes. You think he has like 7 home runs, doesn't he? He's still rounding the bases after the last one, but he's still he can rake.
He was pacing himself.
Motion. Yes.
You need to get to the buffet first before he gets there in spring training, I tell you. Boy, he's a big boy.
So my question would be, do you think all these years removed, do you think that was or was not the right decision to go to the DH?
Where we're going to me? Is that, or Darren, do you want to?
Yeah.
No, you.
I think it was the right decision. I personally enjoyed the pitchers hitting because that was almost an automatic out every time in the minor leagues. But I guess I'm kind of getting a little more more modern in my approach to my fandom now that I'm back to being a fan. So it's one of those things where I'm looking back at it. Yeah, it was interesting because there was more strategy involved. Whether or not you're gonna, is he gonna lay one down? Do you remember when Mariano Rivera had to bat in one of the playoff games? How great was that? You're never gonna have that again. But
yeah,
I think it was the right decision, just because if they're trying to grow the game, people guys like us, we can sit there and talk about the DH rule all day, why it was there, what the differences are, why it's better than not having the pitchers hit. But the common fans, was kind of what we're trying to reach now, the game's trying to reach them, they don't care. They want to see the home runs. What was that commercial back in the day with Tom Glavine? It was, chicks dig the long ball, right? So, they just want to see the offense. They don't care how good Bobby Witt Jr. is at shortstop. Pitching, I think, is becoming a little more mainstream, right? People understand what the cutter is and the sweeper and things like that. So I think it's allowing them now to worry more about the pitching than it is that they're hitting. Because there's a handful of pitchers that felt really comfortable up there. Madison Bumgarner and Bartolo Colon, guys like that. So I think it was the right decision. Yeah. Long answer to a short question. I apologize.
Yeah, and especially with the change to interleague play where they're playing each other, more often, and you're playing every team. You kind of have to at that point, I would say. So Darren, the time has come for final question of the day. So let us get that on here. There you are. Okay. Darren's final could be anything question, so this could be the baseball world, or it may not even be anywhere near the baseball world.
We got to get you guys a producer to do all that stuff.
Yes.
Right, there you go.
And Mike does a great job, but you're absolutely right. We need a producer for that. My question comes from Sean. The wonderful and talented Sean let us all know that his favorite show from the 1970s was Three's Company. So it's a why question. So I need an answer and why. So it's like show all work like a math problem. Were you team Mr. Roper or team Mr. Farley, and why?
Oh, I was Mr. Roper. Mr.
Why?
Roper was well. I think I was. What was I, Mr. Roper, Mr. Furley?
Mr. Furley was.
Mr. Furley was. I was. I apologize. I'm team Mr. Furley. He had I think Mr. Roper was just too serious. You didn't get it. Mr. Furley at least played in everything, right? I mean, like there's episodes where, and just his facial expressions. I mean, God, just the funniest guy. Don Knotts, man. That's just but I was Mr. Furley during the pub crawl. I'm going to tell you that. I did a heck of a job. Oh, yeah. The bell bottoms on and the hair and everything. Yeah, absolutely. Gold chain. Yeah, it was fun.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's very interesting. People. Both characters kind of broke the fourth wall. Mr. Roper, he would tell a joke. He would tell a joke and look at the audience and go,
yep. And he would
Farley made the faces.
Had that stare, that look into the. Yeah, you're right. It's very true.
And Farley had the faces, so it was very interesting. So Team Farley,
that's
Mr.
a great
Farley,
question,
very good.
Great question.
That's why Mike puts the pressure on me every week. Is stuff.
Yes,
but you gave it to me. You gave me that thing.
I'm very happy to help.
To that 5,000 mark. That then we'll mandate a producer, so less on the plate for. I think that'll be the goal there. But fastest hour this flew by.
It always is.
It always, you just took the word out of my mouth. It always is with you guys. It's great to see you.
Yes. Great to catch up.
My friend.
We know that all of us have a lot on our plates. And what I love about it is sometimes it just works out. It could be 3 months from now, 4 months from now, but it's going to work out again. The next thing I would really like to, whatever the topic's going to be, but I want to designate at least 20 minutes, Sean, because one of our Eileen and I's goals is to visit Ireland sooner than later. And so I'd love to have a 30-minute pocket about Ireland on the next podcast because she's ready. I'm ready. Somewhere in that 2 to 3 year range, I think.
You've never met my wife yet, have you? Did you? Were you? We never connected.
No, we have not met yet. No.
Yeah, I tell you something, guys. It was the trip of a lifetime. I mean, it was It was amazing. Not only did I marry my best friend, but I got a chance to we went around the entire country, and she planned it all.
Love that.
I questioned one thing, and I will never question her again. I promise. But it was better than we kind of thought that it was ever going to be.
Absolutely, and I'll make sure that Eileen's.
We'll get together, Mike, for sure.
Episode. Yeah, definitely get together, and what do you call it? But yeah, I'll ask and I'll have her come on too when we talk about it, because I'm sure she's got 93 questions ready for you already. So
let me know, we'll be here.
Sean, you got to come up for the Cape Cod League, my friend.
I will. I would love to, Darren. I would absolutely love to. That is my favorite place to watch a ball game.
Yeah, I got my Katuitt Kittlers hat. I'm ready to go.
Oh, beautiful. The Chatham for the A's?
Yep. Yes, they are. Very
good. But I had a blast. Opening day is just one of the best times of the year. Should have taken the day off and just enjoyed it all day long. But
agreed.
So thank you so much, guys. Thank you all for watching. Those of you, a lot of you guys will watch later tonight or the next couple of days. We appreciate you. Drop a comment in the chat if you have anything for us. But continue to hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn notifications on so you know that we're here. And until next time, we will see you around the ballpark. Bye, guys.
See you guys.